Between the hedges, Georgia dogs coming out. War Eagle flying over Jordan hair skies. Hottie toddy down in Oxford, rebels rise. Cowbells ringing in Starkville all night. Rocky Top singing in that Leland light. Anchor down Vandy, black and gold pride. Gamecocks crowing in Columbia loud and wide. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. Talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Gators in the swamp, chomping all day long. Saturday nights in Death Valley, that tiger strong. So we Razorbacks, crowd calling the hogs. Blue Reds battle Wildcats, bringing the dogs. Show me Miss Zoe, black and gold fight. Sooner running on a Saturday night. Hook 'em horns, burnt orange in the sun. 12th man standing, Aggies get it done. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score.
Welcome to this presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.
What it is, ladies and gentlemen, man. Welcome around the water cooler with you guys. Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. He's back. You can't see him, but you can hear him, man. Tell him who you are, my guy.
Man, you already said my name, man. So you already know what the slogan is. Let's go, let's get it, man. It's your boy. Yes. I'm back, man.
We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us as always, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Let's get into it before it get too late, man. As always, do us a favor, man. Make sure you subscribe to these YouTube channels on YouTube, man. I got Ted's at his SECs and the Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast. DC Wolf over at Auburn at his TV. Dustin over at the Uptempo Podcast. B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Vandy Chris over at the Go to Broom Podcast and the Anchor Down Live Podcast. The Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter at Kid Country himself. I got Edward, man, and of course the legend himself, Bubba, and the old man Auburn Sports Talk, man, as well. Also, go subscribe to JMHO Sports Talk with I got Coach Sean and On the Block Sports with Coach Carl. Also, go subscribe over to I got Dylan at the College Loop as well, man. We appreciate y'all so much for doing that for us, man. Also, support the people that support Water Cooler Talk. Shout out to I got DJ. They want support of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Holly with an EY. And of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with the people that rock with us, man. They want supporter, man. Let's keep it moving, keep it pushing. Hit them up, man, for all your videography and photography needs as well, man. Do us a favor. Go follow us on our social medias at CoolersPod23 on Twitter, X. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. And of course, on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, our Facebook page there. And also, man, check out our website, www.watercoolertalksports.com, man, for all your college football, SEC football, and of course, Auburn football news, man. We putting out, we are going to be putting out articles weekly. Well, not weekly, but every week articles will be coming out, man. So make sure you check us out there. And if you want to support the channel, man, guess what? $5.99 a month to join the Coolest Cubes gang, man. Support Water Cooler Talk Sports. Exclusive member content is coming real soon, man. Got kind of backed up, but the content is coming real soon. And if you want to come and you want to support the channel, you can join $5.99 a month, man. As well as if you want to super chat, man, super chats are available in the chat. Every dollar that comes to Water Cooler Talk Sports goes back into the channel, man. And we appreciate y'all so much, man. Marcus, how you feeling tonight, my guy?
Man, I'm happy, man. I'm happy to be back, man, with my people, man, with the cubes.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. We are
How you,
here.
brother? How you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Can't complain. Cannot complain, man. And I feel like this is going to be pretty good conversation, hopefully. But hey, never know what can happen, man. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us in the chat as well. Shout out to our guy Auburn Dad for life. What's up, AD4L? What's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? Rodney Williamson, Black Magic, he in the chat with us, man. What's going on, my guy? How you feeling, man? Shout out to my guy Wade in the chat, rocking with us. What's up, Wade?
My dude.
How you feeling? How you feeling, Wade? How you feeling, man? The legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams, the Rooster Mac.
That's my guy right there, Huggy.
Huggy Beard, rocking with us, man. What's up, Huggy, man? Ant, he about to come in a minute. Shout out to Ant, the inside of himself. Oh, there he is. His Royal Highness, the King Richard is rocking with us tonight. What's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? Hope all is going well with you, man. There he is, Jay. What's up, Jay, man?
What's up, Jay?
Jay rocking with us, man. What's up? What's up? Big Sarge in the chat. What's up, Big Sarge, man?
Big Sarge,
man, for rocking with us as always. I got Mike McKinney.
Mike.
War Eagle to you, Mike. What's going on?
What's up?
What's up? Mr. 21, can you do something for me? Yeah, Ed Darby
tonight.
Rocking with us tonight as well. Big Kendall rocking with us as well. What's up, Ken? How you feeling, my guy? How you feeling? The king of the comments, Travell is in the chat. What's up, Travell? How you feeling, man? Hope you feeling good. Hope you feeling great, man. We appreciate you. And say, man, what's going on, man? Tim, the dude, man. Taylor is in the chat, man. What's up, my guy? Hope you feeling good, man. Thank y'all so much, man, for rocking with us, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler. We're gonna bring him in right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is Ant, the insider. Ant, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Yeah.
Hey, Ant, can you hear us?
Ant is at work, and he at work.
Well, we're gonna let Ant get his audio right, and then we'll bring him back in. Let's get into the conversation tonight, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. Let's talk. We did a show like this last year when it came to Hugh Freeze and about the urgency that would have been for Hugh Freeze in year 3. We know how that story ended.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we do.
But now we have to talk about Alex Golesh, the new head coach at Auburn, and we have to talk about the urgency that is Alex Golesh in year 1. A lot of people are sitting here saying, what happened with Indiana and Kurt Signetti in Indiana. His first season there, took Indiana to the college football playoff, lost by 10 points to Notre Dame in the first round of the playoffs. Notre Dame ended up playing in that national championship that year. But came back this year, went undefeated. And now he's in the conversation of potentially having one of the best teams in college football. So there are a lot of people who are saying that, now what we are seeing is this the new norm or in college football, or is there anything else? Or was it just like a one-off situation when it came to what we just saw this past year? But Auburn fans have their own expectations about what they want to see from the football team. You look at it and you see about as a fan base, man. I mean, and I completely understand it. 5 years of losing seasons, not knowing what this team will be each year, but then having high expectations for a team each year, and then those expectations just kind of fall flat on their face by week 4 or 5. You really don't have anything to play for at that time. So I want to ask you the question, man. Let's get into it, man. Year 1. Is year 1 about patience, or is year 1 about proof of concept? That's the first question we want to ask tonight, man. Your thoughts, Marcus?
It should be about both. It can be, two things can be truth, because we got to see proof of concept, especially after what we just went through with Hugh Freeze.
Okay.
But I also want us to be realistic, and I want us to understand that if it's not working, it's still his first year. Give him a chance and don't just go ahead and just throw your towel in on him just because we already fed up. But that also comes with showing proof of concept. Because if we losing and it looks the same, man, I don't know how his time gonna be at Auburn. But if the fans can see the light at the end of the tunnel and we can grasp on to something, I think he'll have a good shot. But
Okay.
in year one.
So you saying both. So you saying it's
Yes.
about patience and it's about proof of concept is what you're saying.
Yes.
But Kurt Cinetti in 2 years has won 26 games and he went undefeated in his second season. What's your response to that?
Gene Chizik did it too. I understand, and the thing about it is you can win in your second year, but also we have to be patient, man. We have to be patient. Like I think if we set expectations with this guy high in year one and we fall, we set him up for a bad situation at Auburn. But we got to be realistic with it. Like we got to understand that he just overhauled a whole roster. So we gonna have downfalls. If we don't have downfalls, my God, Golesh is better than better. So let's just sit back and enjoy the show then. Like let's see what he gonna do for years to come. But in my eyes, we gotta be realistic.
But he overhauled the whole roster with guys that have already been in the system of what Alex Golesh and Joel Gordon have done on the offensive side of the ball. I'm just asking, I'm giving you rebuttals of what a lot of people thinking in the Auburn fan base, but don't want to come out and say because
you got to think about it.
They're thinking like you because he's a new coach. He's a new coach, so you're supposed to get that. But he brought in a quarterback, he brought in receivers, he brought in tight ends, he brought in.
This is my rebuttal to that. Exactly what you're saying.
That have been in that system, that understand what it is. So why can't he come in and be able to at least have a winning season next year? Why can't he do that?
I didn't say he couldn't have a winning season. I didn't say that at all. All I'm saying is let's be patient with. If he does have a bad season, it includes having patience. You asked me a question. You said patience and patience or proof of concept. I said both, because if we don't have a winning season next year, we still have to be able to grasp that he has a great proof of concept moving forward that we didn't see with our previous coach. But we also have to recognize that he did overhaul a whole lot, Nick. He still has to rebuild the trenches. He still has to get depth at those positions. You named a whole lot of skill positions. Let's see what he do defensively. Let's see the lineman that he put together. Lineman is about chemistry. Let's see what lineman he go get that played a lot of games to put there. Because we just seen, even with a high expectation line that we just had, an experienced line, we look like, excuse my French, we look like shit. So just because it looked good on paper, we just had a great potential roster. Last year we were screaming playoff roster. Let's see these guys perform, and let's see the guys who he go get to stack up depth. We understand these guys been in his system. But I'm sitting back. I'm here for it, Nick. I'm waiting to see whatever he do.
Bring in a guy real quick. I want to get in on this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. On the road, rocking with us, it is my guy Wade. Wade, how you feeling, man?
Oh man, feeling good, man. How about y'all?
We're doing good. Wade, you heard the question, Wade. Is it patience or proof of concept in year one? I want to get your thoughts.
I would say maybe, excuse me, proof of concept, because patience, I don't think we had to have patience because our coach don't have any patience. I think he's coming in and he doesn't have patience to wait and win. So, and so I would say it will be proof of concept, but like my expectations for him are high because of what the coach has done so far and just listen to him talk. So defensive side of the ball, not worried about defense, period. I know some people were worried about it. I'm not. Care less. It's the offense. Last year, the teams we played, what, 10 points, most points we lost by maybe?
Yep.
So you do that, and I won't even put, it's been hard for me to even put something on these kids, man. Hugh Freeze was awful. I'm sorry, I ain't supposed to say his name. Our last coach was awful because that was way too much talent to go out there and look bad the way they did. So even with the offensive line, that's the offensive line coach fault. I think them kids were good enough because they did it other places. So you can't tell me they get to Auburn, they can't do it.
Okay.
You know, but that's just like, see, I've heard a coach say before that he don't like his linebackers to read and react. I was like, so what in the world are they doing? Oh, whatever hole I tell them to go to, that's where they go. So it's people out here coaching like that. So I can see why them children looked as bad as they did. This coach here, kids ain't look bad nowhere. Everywhere he's been, kids look great. And our schedule is favorable for us to be that way too. So
like it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna give my prediction yet, Nick, because when I give it, there's gonna be some people gonna be like, "Oh man, you tripping." Now, just when I give it, the wait and see. It's gonna be a lot of them. They ain't gonna like it.
I heard that. Yeah, I mean, I hear where y'all coming from. I really do. I hear where Marcus is coming from. I hear where Wade is coming from. I'm under the expectation that this coach doesn't. He's not trying to be patient. He's trying to come in and make a statement right now. Is what I feel. No, I feel as if just from hearing clips, just from hearing what he speaks about, I think he's trying to come in and make a splash and a statement right now.
What's the statement for you right now? What would you say?
First off,
you and Wade.
I think that I agree with Wade. I don't think that coaches that have been successful in other places because they've had a process, or because they had a process, or they understood what it is that they wanted to do. I don't think they come in and then just automatically just look at a first year of just saying like, all right, we'll just win 5-6 games and that's a good season. I don't think people that want to come in and be competitive and win look at things of that nature. I don't think they look at it like that.
Hold up. Are we speaking to the fan base, or we speaking to the coach? Because I thought the question was for the fan base.
No, the question is, well, whatever you want it to be. I asked the question of what's more important, patience or proof of concept. That's what I asked.
Okay.
So the question is, that's what I asked the question for. So I don't think coaches come in. I don't think coaches come in and are asking and are saying, all right, we're just gonna come in here and just try to be patient enough and just try to build some stuff up. That's what the last coach did. And guess what happened? The patience of waiting until year 3 got him fired. You know what I'm saying? So I believe I'm more in line of the thinking of a way. I want to see proof of concept. So proof of concept to me is basically saying when Auburn is in tight games, how do you end up winning the game and not losing the game? I'm not saying you about to come out here and you about to win every single one of those games, because you may not. Something may happen to where the ball may not bounce your way today. But it can't be every single game that the ball does not bounce your way to where you end up winning, to where you end up losing the game. I think he comes out here and he shows this fan base, he shows everybody in college football what it is that he wants to do here. And if he does that, guess what? It ends up to wins, and it's going to end up to more wins than not on the win-loss column. I'm gonna bring in a couple of guys real quick that's gonna add to this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. The Huggy Beard himself is gonna rock with us, man. Also, man, Ant, the Insider, is rocking in with us, and of course, Mr. Ed Darby himself, Mr. 21, is gonna rock with us, man. Fellas, how y'all feeling, man?
What's up?
Chilling. I'm gonna go with Huggy first. Huggy, give me your thought process on this real quick. Patience or proof of concept in year 1?
What's happening, gentlemen? Marcus, glad to see you back, cuz.
Yes, sir.
Um, I agree with Marcus. Two things can be true in the same time. Uh, the fans definitely need to have patience. Conversely, we need to see some proof of concept. Here's my question though. Are, what proof of concept are we expecting to see? Are we expecting to see 10-2, 11-1, run through the playoffs? Or are you coming from my point of view? To me, the proof of concept would be to show discipline. Eliminate the stupid penalties. Uh, look like you actually have a clue when you're on the field. You know, when you get the ball, final drive, all you got to do is go score. Are we thinking, well, that's it, we ain't getting to this, or do we have a legit chance? That's what I want to see. I mean, if he come out and lay an egg and go 2-10, 3-9, then obviously if they're the least penalized team in football, that's not going to matter.
What the?
But to come out and say, well, Auburn better be in the playoffs, because I think people need to understand every time we fire a coach and hire a new coach, that's hitting the reset button. And if we're going 2 and 3 years with a new coach every 2 or 3 years, it's never going to happen, bro. It's just not. So I think Auburn fans need to what's the word I'm looking for? They need to temper their expectations and have something. I put it like this: my senior year of football, the coach come up, kind of the the week before the first game, and he got us all together. He's like, "Okay, what are our expectations for this year?" And before anybody said anything, he said, "Now listen, don't say we're state champs, this, that, and the third, because everybody's expecting that. What are your real expectations?" Well, I raised my hand, no sacks from the offensive line. And then the ball started rolling, you know, 500 yards for this guy, 500 yards, 10 touchdowns. We need to have realistic, attainable expectations. If you're expecting them to be the next Indiana, well, guess what? You're probably not going to like Alex Golesh at the end of the year. But if you're expecting to see a competitive product where you can't just say, "Oh, here we go again," and all the dominoes start falling, and Auburn done went and Auburn, or I take that back. Auburn went and did the new Auburn in the last few years, because if they do the old Auburn, we're gonna set the world on fire. That's what I think people need to understand. Set realistic expectations. Give the man a chance. Um, I mean, like when you said Signetti, his first year, yeah, they made the playoffs, which, let's be honest, isn't the hardest thing to do nowadays, and there's going to be more teams added. What are our real expectations? That's why I've said before, 8-4. That's what I want to see. And I can live with a 7-5 if there was a game where, man, we had it, but, the refs remembered, oh, yeah, we don't like them boys in blue, threw a flag. You dig what I'm saying? I think if we come out expecting too much, you're setting him up for failure. And that's something that's got to change about Auburn, because we need to realize we're not the Auburn of old. We're going to have to take them baby steps to take the bigger steps. You dig? So that, I say both can be true, but what are you expecting is what everybody needs to understand. If you're expecting too much, then he's never going to live up to it. He's just not.
Ed, your thoughts?
Winning football games. Commitment to winning. That's all I got.
I like it. And your
What it
thoughts?
is, bro? What it do, man?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like he gonna be the man from here to Japan. You feel me?
This boy's fool.
For real, man. I mean, listen, everybody is going back to the old Auburn ways. Oh, we could look like this, but Auburn might be like this, and I don't think he's gonna get the job done, and I don't do this, and man, bro, look at the track record. Man doesn't have a bad track record. He doesn't have 2 wins over Nick Saban, so that's why Auburn hired him. He doesn't have possible trick plays that works, and he can beat Alabama once every 3 years. I mean, the first year, you should expect what every other team expects with a new coach. And for him to implement his system, get his culture together, for the players that he brought in for South Florida to help him establish the culture. And probably
Who?
later on in the season, you might see a string of wins. You get what I'm saying? Like, you might beat Alabama this year. You might get to a playoff conversation for Auburn to, oh, Auburn could be in the playoffs. They just had one little game that if they would have won earlier in the season, they would have been in the playoffs. I mean, that's my expectation for real. Like, he can get us there.
Okay. All right. So we got a lot of different answers right there. So let's talk about this then. How does that tangible? How fast? And this is a particular question to everybody on the panel, because how fast does the process, the tangible part of what you want to see happen, has to happen this year? Like, and the tangible part of what it is that you all are speaking of. Because I didn't ask a question. All I asked at the beginning was, which one is more important, patience or proof of concept? That's all I asked. So now I'm asking right now. Now that you all have said, Marcus said both. Wade said more proof of concept. Ed said winning. Ant said, I'm still trying
Both.
to both, and Huggy agreed with Marcus kind of with both, patience and proof of concept. Okay, so tangibly, how fast does that have to, how fast does that have to happen for Auburn this year, and how does that look?
It looks like what these guys were saying, bro. It looks
What
like
is that? Like, no, what is
hold on,
that?
I'm
Like,
gonna
you
break it
can't,
down. Give me a
you
second to
can't,
break
you
it
can't,
down,
you
Nick,
can't say it look like what they saying. Like, what is that
you
tangible
gotta give me a
thing it
chance to
is?
break it down. Nick, you cut me off, bro. So it looks like exactly what they were saying. First, with Ed, commitment to winning. When you commit to winning, you doing everything the right way. You hustling that practice. You doing everything. You paying attention to details in the film room. And going back to what Huggy said, it's disciplined football. You're not hopping off sides. And if you are hopping off sides, you got your senior leaders on that team holding that person accountable. You going through walkthroughs. You it's just the culture looks different. It's a change of culture. You can see that when even if we go 7-5 or 8 games, you see that on the field. You see a coach that's fired up. Like I just, if you pay attention to Auburn football, he just bought that little Auburn diamond pendant. That jump fire. You see that. You enthused about what he brings to the table. And it's just, gotta wait and see what he do, man. I ain't, like Ed said, I ain't put my expectations. I ain't trying to kill him, man. I ain't trying to kill his 10-year at Auburn already.
I don't think nobody's trying to do that. But go ahead, Wade. What's your thoughts?
Me personally, I feel all of that stuff will come because you can go back and look at his teams at South Florida. He's got guys in there. I think the defense will be better because since we got rid of our head coach, I think that was a lot of the problem to where DJ Durkin couldn't do what he needed to do as far as discipline goes, because he doesn't seem like a person that's going to deal with undisciplined play on his defense. So I think we should see all of that. But my biggest thing is seeing an offense that can just score the ball. That's all I need to see. If we can go out and do that and our defense stands up like I think they will, then that's all I need to see. And like you say, disciplined football. That's what just won Indiana a national championship, was being disciplined.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Ed, I'm pretty sure I already know yours. You already kind of said it. You said winning football games. Do you want to expound on that, or are you just gonna say that again?
We're gonna be winning football games.
All right.
it's the little things, man. I'm looking forward to. I want to know about game planning for the week. I want to see you get into a game. Your game plan don't work. Let's make some. I want to see adjustments on the first drive. Somebody do something wrong. I want to see some accountability. I want to see the small things. That's what's going to lead to the. That's what's going to lead to the W's. You stress the small things. Things going to work out in the end. So. I do agree with what Wade said about the discipline because it's kind of hard to hold people, hold people accountable when your leader is like just lazy and it's just like whatever. So because he's the ultimate leader. So yeah, man, small things. True. Whatever that leads us to, that's where we're gonna be.
Okay, and your thoughts?
Game 1.
Okay, what about game 1? What about Baylor?
You should be able to see an expectation to the season in game 1. In my opinion,
you saw that from Hugh Freeze last year. You saw them go and beat Baylor. Yes, you did. You saw them. You saw them.
No, I'm not.
You saw. Hold up. You saw them go out and commit to the run. You saw Auburn go into Waco and win that game. Things of that nature. You saw them do that. So what's different from that game to this game this year?
I wasn't talking about the win or how they did it. I was talking about far as from the players. Like Ed said, somebody jump outside, you hold them accountable for that. Somebody make a mistake. I want to see somebody tell my bad, bro. I owe you one. You know what I'm saying? Just the demeanor of the players should be different in game 1 than from last year.
Okay. All right. Okay. The demeanor. All right. Huggy.
Well, basically, would echo the same things that are being said. Like I've said before, that we'll be able to tell the difference when they walk onto the field game 1. The mentality will be different. I love that it was mentioned the team leadership. I mean, I know y'all heard me griping last year, like there should have been a fight with the linemen on the sidelines. This is unacceptable. And if you want to stand, the players need to have a mentality of, hey, bro, I go out here and every day in practice, I lay it all on the line. We come out of the game, and not do it in a sense of talking down, but do it in a sense of, bro, I want you to be beside me. I want to depend on you. The team leadership, and it was also mentioned, the coach. Clearly, people were not being held accountable last year. They just weren't. And I want to see. I almost want to see maybe not a bad game, but I want to see the first bad quarter and see how Golesh reacts. The look on his face. When it's a stupid penalty, do players and everybody want to stay away from him because they know that's your ass, Coach G, gonna get you. The mental toughness, because I think people forget you can have every player on your roster can be a 5-star. If you do not have the mental toughness, there is going to come a moment in a game where you are going to fall short because you're not mentally prepared. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are just, and I think I've alluded to this before. A lot of people are thinking it's just going to be insert new coach and everything's going to happen last year the same way, but we're going to score more points, so we're going to win. And that is not going to happen. It's an entirely new football team. Even if it would have been, thank goodness we ain't got to see this, but even if Hubert would have come back, it's an entirely new season, entirely new team. I want to see the mental toughness. I want people to be disgusted with losing. I want cats to be like, man, I can't even go spend none of these millions because we lost Saturday. I don't feel like going and buying no Gator boots because I shouldn't be holding them down. I need to be in the film room. We need to get better here. We need to get better at this. I want to see everybody holding each other accountable. You think if Indiana would have had a run of stupid penalties, you think somebody wouldn't have got tore to shreds? I highly doubt it. That's what I want to see. And to me, I would say that's the bigger proof of concept than just purely winning. Is everyone depending on each other? Do they trust each other? Because they know you got my back, I got your back. We've been sweating and bleeding together, so we don't got to worry about the stupid penalties. We don't got to worry about holding on to the ball in a big game in a crucial moment because that's an afterthought. We already know we're going to do that. That mental toughness has to be there because, like I said, and it happens in all sports. No matter how big, fast, and strong you are, if you're mentally weak, a team is going to come through and wipe you out, and everyone's going to be looking like, well, wait a minute, on paper we're a better team, but they're mentally tougher than you are. They got more guts, they got more ice in their veins. The big moments don't scare them, the big moments make them rise up. That's what I'm talking about. That to me is the quote proof of concept, because it's clearly not been at Auburn in a long time. I'll reference the 2010 team. If that team, it's easy for everybody to say, well, Cam Newton and Nick Fairley carried that bunch of nobodies to a national championship. If those nobodies were not mentally prepared, we don't see a comeback against Alabama. We don't see a comeback against Georgia. We don't see those things because it don't come just because you've got the talent. How many teams would you say on paper is more talented than Indiana? Guess what? It don't matter because we the champs. That's the bottom line. So, and I've referenced before, people get caught up with quote potential. Potential don't mean nothing if you don't make good on it. And that's what I want to see. I actually feel better coming into this season than I have in a long, long time. So for what that's worth, you know.
Okay. I'm taking a look at some of the comments, man. Auburn dad come in. He said, man, he think both. He said he think both patience and proof of concept is good. I want y'all to think about that real quick. Big Sar said year one is about building a culture. That's what Big Sar said. Okay. That's cool. Travell said, man, need realistic and proof of concept. Proof of concept, man. I'm gonna ask y'all a question when I get through this. So true, bro. Both sides are true, but it has to look different from Chris Moore. Shout out to Chris Moore, my God. What's up, man? Appreciate you so much, man. Has to look different. Okay. Shout out to King Richard, man. He said, how would you feel if the offense comes out scoring points, but they score so quickly the defense suffers and we still lose by 6 or less points? I'm posing that question to the chat. How would y'all feel about that? Anybody, go first.
That's where your adjustments come in at, though. As a coach, when you realize that's going on, you should be able to adjust your offense or your defense to the style of play.
Okay, so adjustment. So basically, you're saying if you come out and score so many points, you shouldn't lose the game. Is what you're saying? Because adjustment should come in, and the team should be able to adjust to what the other team is doing, and you should be able to slow them down, or at least stop them, or at least slow them down.
Yeah, I mean, think about you up 14 against Baylor in the second half. We'll just say start of the fourth quarter. What is you gonna still run fast for? Slow the game down. Run the ball more. I mean, it's different ways. It's different ways to do it.
Okay.
My thing is, they score so quickly. That can mean different for different. That mean it may mean something different to other teams. Each team may have something different. Oregon back in the day may have been like 28 points in the first quarter. Somebody like Vanderbilt, Indiana, BYU, that may be 10 points because they playing the long game.
Yeah,
we scoring 10 points every quarter. So, but I understand what he's saying though. Yeah, you do have to adjust. If you're scoring that easily, you can't slow it down. You're gonna score anyways, right?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. You know, if you're scoring that much, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, you should slow it down and run the ball, and I think he's gonna do a lot of that anyway. So, because you got 3 of them for sure that are gonna get a lot of touches if that's the case. So,
It is. I
Go
like it.
and looking to sign one more. And looking to sign one more. Looking to sign one more.
Shout out to
Continue.
AUTJ. What's up, AUTJ? What's up, my guy? Appreciate you so much
TJ.
for rocking with us, man. Travell in the chat said the Patience didn't get him fired. We didn't look any different year after year. We got worse. Patience did get him fired because he kept asking. He kept saying, "We need to wait until year 3."
Year 3.
So that Patience did get him fired. And then when year 3 came, it still looked bad. So
Yeah, and Nick, and what about that Baylor game last year,
Mhm.
I was not convinced because I know we wasn't gonna keep running the ball, and that was part of his problem. And I've seen a lot of other teams do the same thing. They don't want to run the ball, and they wonder why they can't win the big game. Well, you got to have a run game. Run game is still important in football. I don't care what nobody say. People say, well, you can throw the ball to pass. No, bro, you need a running back. All great teams that win championships got at least one. We just saw a team win that's got 2 of them. They ended up both of them over 1,000 yards.
They did. Yep. And being black.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, but our last coach wasn't gonna do that, and I knew that if he wouldn't run Jacquez Hunter, he wasn't gonna run nobody else. Complete idiot.
Big Sar said, I'm looking for a competitive team that shows growth and progress throughout the season. Okay. I like that. Mike McKinney said, I don't think this coach is built like that. His demeanor is kill or be killed. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I kind of feel like the demeanor between this coach and the one that was in the previous coach. I believe that he's not looking for patience. I think his whatever our expectations are, I think you can multiply that times 5, maybe even 10 of what he wants to do in his first year, because everywhere he's been, he has turned something that was bad into something that was successful quick. He actually did what the previous coach said in his introductory press conference. Turn it around fast. He actually did it. So I think that this coach, Alex Golesh, is actually interested in coming in and making a statement right out the bat, man. Shout out to Mike McKinney for that. Tavian Upshaw said, you'll see if we are good or not at the Florida game. My saying every year, whatever team you are by week 4 or 5 of the season is the team that you're going to be for the remaining of the year. So that is true, because Florida will be the 3rd game of the year for Auburn, if I'm not mistaken.
I disagree with that.
Why do you disagree with that?
I disagree with the Florida game because Florida got the same issues we got going on. Florida had to rebuild a new roster and everything. So I wouldn't say Florida, Tennessee.
No, but by that time, I get what he's saying. He's saying by that time you've had a spring, because there is no spring portal. You've had a spring, you've had summer workouts, you've had a fall camp to go through with the guys. There will be once spring practice start, this is going to be the team that you're going to rock with for the next year. So basically what he's saying is, at that particular time, you should have had enough time to understand exactly what each person can do and how they can contribute to the team. So he's saying by the Florida game, which is the 3rd game, I would say by the 4th game, 4th or 5th game of the year, that's the team that you're going to be for the remainder of the year. Basically just saying, if you had that much time together to kind of gel together and see what it is, you should know exactly. You should have some semblance of what this team is going to be by that time before the end of the year going. So without the spring portal, I mean, I kind of see where he's coming from with that. Mike McKinney, he said we have to stop comparing this new team to the old one. Completely different ball club. What is that? Completely different ball club. Pretty good. I agree with that. 2 more questions, man. Proof of concept. I posed that to the chat. I mean, I posed that to the panel, and I posed that to everybody in the chat. I've heard a lot of things that everybody has stated that they say that that's proof of concept. What I think Huggy said proof of concept to him is basically not, things like playing discipline football. Not jumping off sides and things and stuff like that. Is that proof of concept to everybody else on the chat? I mean, on the panel. Like, what do you think is what is your definition of proof of concept? I've realized that we have to start asking this question now because we had a whole show where we had to figure out what culture, what is culture, and things and stuff of that nature. So I just have to ask the question just so I can understand exactly where everybody's point of view is coming from. What is proof of concept to you? And I'm gonna start with Ed Darby on this
one. For me, I said it kind of earlier. It's the little things, day in, day out. You go into class on time. You have practice on time. How you do it, in practice, how you're gonna do it in the game. That's proof of concept to me.
Would that be more culture than proof of concept?
Well, culture, and plus you need to still show that. So, because you can try to fake and get by, but then, that's just kind of how I look at it.
Okay, because I give you my thought of proof of concept. To me, proof of concept is X's and O's. Is what I consider to be proof of concept. Can when we see the team on the field, can we tell what you're trying to do and if you are accomplishing that at a high clip? That's what I consider proof of concept. Can you go out here and can you execute the game plan of what you practice all week or what it is that you want to do? I think everything that y'all are saying, like, this is just me speaking. I think everything that y'all saying,
that sounds like discipline.
I think that everything that y'all saying about playing disciplined football, not jumping off sides and things, stuff like that, I think that has to do with the culture that's set for the team. That's just me personally. And that's the reason why I asked the question, like, what is y'all's definition of proof of concept of what that is? So I mean, does anybody disagree with that, or does anybody else feel a different, or anybody else have a different thought on that?
I actually agree with your definition, Nick, but I would add also for my proof of concept, I want to see how he adjusts when things go bad and when things ain't going his way or when his game plan ain't working. I want to see how he adjusts at halftime or what little wrinkles he add to throw the defense off, or what defensive alignment he adds to mess up the offense. I need to see that as well because we all know that everything ain't it's not gonna go according to plan every time.
Okay. And people can. I don't know how many people would agree with this, but I think you can have a pretty decent culture and not have a proof of concept on the field. I think you can. I think you can have a solid culture, but not have proof of concept of X's and O's on the field, because I think proof of concept deals with what you do. What are you doing on the football field? That's just how I think of it. It's because that's just how I think what proof of concept is when it comes to football. It comes to do I want to be a pro style? Do I want to be a pro style offense? If not, am I going to be a West Coast offense? Am I going to be a RPO offense? Are we going to spread the ball around? That's what I think proof of concept is. If you can go out on the football field and basically show that you can run what it is that you want to do on the football field. If you can't do that, you can still have a great culture, but not have the examples that you can go out there and actually execute what it is that you want to do on the football field.
Yeah, when you want to show the evidence.
Exactly. So when we talk, so I just want to, that's just me. So Hugh Freeze apparently had a pretty good culture to where he felt as if we wanted to be God first, faith and things, stuff like that. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, but on the football field, it didn't pan out. Much.
Question: Can bad coaches win?
Yes, they do all the time, but they don't. But it's not sustainable.
I agree.
But it's not sustainable.
I agree 100%.
It's not sustainable. So yeah, you can have a bad coach and prove a concept and go out there and win championships, but it's not sustainable. But I'm gonna bring in a guy right here, man. Shout out to him. He just popped in the back, man. We're gonna get him in here. We're gonna get his thought process on this, ladies and gentlemen. It is our guy, your favorite Auburn fan, Tez. What's up, Tez? How you feeling, man?
Man, what's happening, man?
Chilling.
Sorry
Tez.
for being super duper late.
It's all good. It's all good.
Like going
Get your
on
thought.
today.
I'm gonna get your thought. I'm gonna ask you a couple. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, and because
Okay.
it may take you a while to answer because we didn't kind of went through it a little bit. So first off, which one do you think? Which one do you think is? Which one is year one more about for Alex Golesh? Is it patience or proof of concept? Secondly, what tangible assets or tangible things do you need to see in year one to prove which one you think is more important for year one? And then what is your definition of proof of concept?
Okay. Wow. What is so year one?
Patience,
You said
patience
patience
or
on
proof,
the fan base.
patience or
Speaking
proof
from
of
the fan
concept.
base. Okay.
Whichever side you want to bring it from. You want to bring it from the fan base, whichever
Most
side.
important, I think most important for him is of those two, probably believe it or not, proof of concept. I think patience just is what it is. You get 3 years, you get it right. You don't get it right. You're on the hot seat looking for another job. That's just the way the country is going right now. So I think the patience for everybody is about the same. So I don't know if that, that's not different from his situation, but proof of concept is vitally important for him because he has to put on the field a product that looked like it did at South Florida. Basically, I mean that's what he was hired to do. He was hired to pretty much fix this offense. If you really think about it, John Cohen just went out and got an offensive coordinator at the end of the day. So, I think that's what's most important for Alex Golesh. Yeah, it's proof of concept. He's got to put in. That doesn't mean he's got to win. Well, it means he's got to win. Don't get me wrong. I want him to win. But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to explain it. I don't think Hugh ever did this. I don't think Hugh ever put on the field proof of concept. Right? I don't think we left the Hugh Freeze era wondering what type of offense are we? Like, what is it we're trying to accomplish? What is it we're trying to do? I think proof of concept in Golesh's standpoint would be establishing that. Like, you should from game one. I say by game, like you always say, Nick. By game 4, you are what you are. By game 4, you should know what this offense is about. You should be able to see that. You should be able to see them trying to execute that. You should be able to see them executing that. It should look like an Alex Golesh offense. And you should be able to see that if these plays are executed correctly, they will work. Right? I think that's how I see it. What was the other question?
Second one, tangible. Well, you answered 2 questions in one. You answered which one is more important in year one, patience or proof of concept. You said proof of concept. Then you basically just decide. You basically just told us what your definition of proof of concept. What it is on the field. So, second question is, what tangible things has to happen in this year to see that happen with proof of concept? And you kind of answered that as well too. So, so
yeah, they got to buy in. That's I think like. He's like I came in on the tail end. Y'all was talking about discipline. Discipline is, I feel like that falls in the same line. Like what you'll see on the field will tell you if the team is disciplined. Like if we're looking at like the way I see proof of concept is like the concept is like a diagram of how to build a paper airplane. Proof of concept is actually throwing the airplane and seeing it fly. Right. I think that discipline falls up under the game plan for the concept, right? Because all of this is what he's trying to bring to Auburn. It's not just a game plan of how to get things done on the field, play calling wise, but he's also bringing the mentality that is different from what was already here, that has worked for him before. He's also bringing, like you guys said, discipline, the practice habits, the repetition that he talked about. Like all of that is coming. All of that is the concept, so to speak. And what we're looking for on Saturday is just to see the plane fly. Now, how far it's gonna fly, that's up to the players and how far the team goes. But like, we want to see the bird in the air, right? And I don't think we ever saw that.
No,
under
you saw
the
the
field
golf
there.
ball in there.
Right. We saw the plane, but nobody ever threw it. You know what I mean? So
We saw the golf club. We saw the driver. We saw the 5
Yeah.
iron, the 3 iron.
The thing is about that
7
plane,
iron.
he didn't design it because he went in the meetings during the week.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I want to ask
Man,
this
now
question.
y'all know that was somebody else's golf ball. Don't do that.
Man, here we go. So I want to ask this question.
He could have had a line of golf balls, man.
I want to ask this
He messed
question.
that all the way up.
I'm gonna ask this question real quick. There's a couple people that said both. A couple people said you need patience and proof of concept. So I'm gonna ask this question: with how should I ask this? With how the landscape of the SEC is changing, scratch that. With how the landscape of college football is changing, and right before our eyes, is it harder now to be patient?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
It is definitely harder because you got NIL, you got the portal, and if you go get the pieces that you need, you should be able to make something happen. You ought to look totally different than the year before. So I think it's harder to have patience now because kids don't have to sit and wait, and you can go get what it is you're looking for. Whether you spend the money or not, whatever it is, you can go get them. So, but again, I say too, it's hard to have patience when your coach doesn't have it. If he don't have patience and he's coming in and his expectations are high, I'm going to roll with what he's got because he knows better than I do what he's trying to do.
True.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So Wade says it is going to be harder to be patient now with the way that the landscape of the sport is changing. Not just the SEC, but the sport of college football is changing. I want to hear what Huggy got to say. What's your thoughts on that, Huggy?
Thoughts on what? That's kind of half in, half out.
You earlier the question earlier was which one is more important for year one, patience or proof of concept? We had that discussion. So I asked the question with the landscape of college football, the sport of college football, with the landscape changing and is basically changing almost every year, every offseason, something new is being changed or something new is being introduced. Is it harder to be patient now, in your opinion? Is it harder to be patient now in year one with to win? Is it harder? Is that harder for you as a fan, or how do you see it?
Well, for me personally, no. It's not hard. I think overall, yeah, it is because we're seeing football change. It doesn't necessarily have to take, okay, we got brought in a new coach. Let's sit back. Let's see what happens year 4, year 5, because you can make such strides in one off season. Depending on the checks you're cutting. I think with me personally, I always kind of, with that old school mentality, I understand, just in Auburn in particular, the entire culture has to change. The entire atmosphere around the program has got to change.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'll use a metaphor, a cruise ship, you don't just turn it on a dime. It takes time to get it to turn, but once you're in it, you're not coming out of it. You've made the turn. You're just kind of letting it play itself out. That's why I say I'm not so much looking at wins. I want to see, is there a change? Because I also think, Nick, I agree with what you're saying, but I don't personally think you can have a bad culture and win championships. You might have a couple of bad apples here and there, but overall, you're not going to win long term. You're not going to be consistent with bad culture because, in my opinion, we're talking about all these things as if they're not connected. And the example I'll use, I'm not going to try to say what the actual name is because every time I've tried to say this word since the Bell's palsy bitch slapped me, I butcher it. But do y'all know what a Russian nesting doll is? It's those little dolls where big wooden doll, you pop off the top, there's another one inside. You pop that one open, there's another inside, another inside. That's what all these things are. You're not going to get one if you don't have the other ones. They all fit together. The sum is greater than the parts. So to me, I can be patient, but also one thing I think that rubbed me the wrong way about Hubert is you didn't see Nick Saban or Kirby Smart or these guys walk in and day one say, I change cultures. We rebuild programs. They didn't say that. You're already setting the bar. And with us Auburn fans, we may not be as bad as them Crimson Bastards, but we can sometimes be a little overzealous because we love our program and we want to see the boys be successful. And when you come in saying the right things, those buzzwords, they get people a little too hype. That's why I bring it back to discipline. Do the stupid penalties go away? Because you're never going to not commit penalties. That's going to happen. I mean, you could throw a flag on for holding on every single play, damn near. But that's why I say it won't take long to notice if he's got it going in the right direction because of how far down things are. And with me, I don't think waiting until year 3 is necessarily the worst thing, especially if in year 1 and 2, we're seeing building blocks being laid. The thing you got to remember, when you build a house, if you build a $10 million mansion on a $10 foundation, when the house falls, whose fault is it? Is it the house or the foundation? It's clearly the foundation. So I want to see those blocks getting laid. Yeah, obviously it should come with wins because I don't know if I like when you say I want to see his system run. I don't really give a flip what the system does because I think it was either Marcus or Wade alluded to. Yeah, you come in with a game plan, but can you make adjustments? Because it's not going to go like you're reading a movie script and everything just happens one after the other. And it would also be like when y'all use the example of, well, okay, what if the offense just starts lighting it up and to me, that's not even a question because anybody with sense will be like, well, we're already up 30 points. Shift gears, slow it down. And then, okay, we slow down a couple possessions later. Well, oh, snap, we may have slowed down too much. Well, you can always kick it back in gear. So, yes, I think that the patience is just as important because everybody can say, all the players, and especially the coaches, they can say they don't listen to the media. They can say they're lying. If they're on social media, if they're within 20 feet of a TV, if they're around anybody not on the team that's wearing those colors, they're hearing it. You can't tell me Hugh Freeze didn't know that everybody was upset. You'll never convince me of that. Unless you're just, well, actually, now I think about it, that might apply to Hugh Freeze if you're just dumb as a box of rocks. So it to me, without the patience, and I think it's important, somebody alluded to that Alex Golesh himself has to be patient. Because it all starts with him. So if the team sees him start to waver, oh well, dang, coach don't even believe in himself. Why? It all goes together. I think everybody's wanting to cherry pick and pull things apart, and I get we're doing that for the purposes of the show, but in a totality, it all goes together. You've got to have the discipline. You've got to have the mentality. You've got to have the dedication to winning. And with the dedication to winning, I don't think anybody shows up so-called not wanting to win The real question is, do you want to put in the work? Do you want to put in the effort? Do you want to sweat? Do you want to bleed? Do you want to not go to that party? Do you want to not, go hang out? Because I got to go. We got Georgia coming up this week. Like, I would love to see for the first SEC game, all the players don't even leave the football facilities. Everybody's going to stay here. We're going to get ready. We're going to come into this game because, as I said before, I can deal with a loss if you don't lose the fight. That's my biggest problem in the last 3 years. There's been no fight. Nobody. It's like they didn't care. Like, well, yeah, we lost. Whatever. I want to see people throwing helmets. I want ESPN to have to censor half the broadcast because they had a live mic on the sidelines at Auburn and they was hitting every 4-letter word and even made some up. When you do those things, eventually you're going to find yourself in a position to win. And once I'll say it like this, once Auburn remembers how to win like Auburn, it's going to be on, Jack. And I think with Alex Golesh, if he can get the players to buy in, he gets everybody to that point. We're gonna be proud to be Auburn fans again. That's how I'll say it. That's what I want to see. Do I say, well, let me put on my Florida State hat because Auburn went out and lost to Kentucky at home? You know what I'm talking about? Even in a loss, you can still pound your chest and say, hey, man, they just got beat by a better team. They didn't quit. It went down to the final wire because I could care less if they go undefeated. Yeah, that looks good at the end of the year, but I could care less. Look at the Patriots when they went undefeated. They beat the Giants in the final game of the year. Go ask the Giants, hey, would you trade your Super Bowl ring for a perfect season? I bet you every one of them says, hell no. So to me, that goes with the mentality of we're just not, because sometimes you've got to do that. Sometimes you do find yourself in a situation where you're outmatched. That's when the mentality comes in of, hey, we're not going to lose this game. It's same concept. I know y'all probably remember Ed Reed, that speech he gave at halftime. I forget what game it was, but he told everybody, stop asking me if I'm okay. No, I'm not okay, but I put my heart into this. Let's go. And then they went out there and scored like 40 points. All of those things will come when you get the right mentality. And to me, that is the proof of concept. From my point of view, which I get what you mean with that, Nick. But to me, that's the proof of concept. Are players bought in? Is everybody mentally prepared to go out there and win the game when it's presented to you? It's all going to come back to the discipline. It's all going to come back to mentality. And we as fans have to allow enough time to get all these things together, because it will take even the cats that may have already played for Golesh. Different season, different environment. We've got to allow time for all these things to simmer. Let's get some tenderism up in here. You hear me? So I'm ready for it. I'm going to go ahead and make a bold prediction too, real quick. I believe that this is the year we beat Georgia and Alabama. Even if they only win 7-8 games, something tells me Alabama and Georgia are going to be in that win column, especially Bama, because the scenario is setting itself up to be that. So I'm ready to go. I say we start the season next week.
I'll say this. I've already stated I think proof of concept is more important. Because I don't think fans are impatient. I think fans are patient enough. I think they are patient enough. But proof of concept earns more patience, in my opinion. But ambiguity destroys that patience.
That was nice. I'm stealing that, Nick. I'm stealing ambiguity. I'm stealing that, bro. That's sweet.
So if Auburn goes 6-6 next year, right? And we get on and we see this team on the football field, we look at it and we see that this offensive side of the ball is doing exactly what it needs to do. But in some of those games, it just the ball didn't bounce our way. I'm more patient with this team. I'm more patient with it. I am. If Auburn goes 6-6 and it looks convoluted, it looks like it's stagnant again. It looks like there's confusion. Now we got pressure. Now there's pressure on the coach because it's going to look exactly like it did the past couple of seasons. So I think fans are patient. I mean, don't get it twisted. We sit here on these shows and we talk about what we want to see, but we still sit here and talk about it. If we were that impatient about it, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about Auburn football right now because it wouldn't be nothing to talk. It wouldn't be worth talking about. Let's just be honest. It's not. It hasn't been worth talking about for the past couple of years because we just been talking about the bad of it. I'm just being real. But we're impatient to the fact we're impatient because of the results that we see on the field. We're impatient because we want to see winning. That's what it is. So we all just sitting here just like, all right, man, what is winning? When the winning gonna start? You know, we patient, we ready for that winning season. You know, it is what it is, you know. But that's how I'm gonna put it there, man. And I'm gonna leave it there. Anybody else got any final thoughts before we close this thing down before we get out of here? Tess, Marcus,
No.
Ant.
I only thing I add is that if there's a group of people that's going to be impatient this upcoming season, it's going to be those investors.
Exactly.
Because what they just saw is an investment made in the team, and in 3 years they won a national championship. So the people that write the checks, those are probably going to be the ones that you're going to see a lot of impatience from. It's going to, you know, they're going to be looking for results. So I don't know what that means for the schools, but I think everybody, like you said, Nick, I think fans are pretty much, you know, I can only speak for Auburn fans. I know Auburn fans are. You ask the average fan, 8 wins is fine. It's kind of been like that for the last couple of years. It's like,
last decade.
like we're waiting on the guy to come in here and win a national championship in year one. We kind of been, the average has been, give me 8 wins. We'll be cool.
And then we'll build off of that.
I can see more of that, but yeah, them people that's investing all those millions into these programs, they looking at some of these schools with side eyes. Auburn probably being one of them.
Exactly. Indiana kind of has kind of set off a bomb in college in the landscape of college football because what was said couldn't been done was done. So
they did it.
People want to see it. Fellas, man, any last thoughts, man? Wade?
Yeah, Marcus? I just got one last thing real quick. As far as like with what we saw last season from the kids, all of that stemmed from a head coach that was soft. My brother coached football. He talks about kids coming up and they don't like coaches like that. It's a lot of them that don't. There's some that do, but a lot of them don't. They want to be coached hard. They want somebody to get in their behind and get out of them what they're trying to get out of them. We didn't have that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a lot of the reason why we saw what was going on with the kids, whether even if they were partying before games, didn't care. Coach doesn't care. It's hard for me to care. Coach we got now seems a little bit more caring and a little bit more tougher. So these kids know he's tough already before they get there. They're not going to sign up for that if that ain't what they like.
Right.
You're going to go somewhere else because it's too much out here for kids not to know. It's not like it was back in the day when you got to school and you don't know who on the football team until you get there. You don't have no way of knowing. You don't know nothing about the coach for real neither. So nowadays they know everything. I think we're going to see – I think it's going to happen quicker than everybody's thinking. It's just my biggest thing. I think these kids are going to be bought in because he bought in enough kids to help the rest of them come along that are there that want to be there. Because we got to remember too, he said, I want kids that want to be here. Mm-hmm. So the kids that are at Auburn right now, they want to be there. So, and yeah, so that's about it. But yeah, kids do like to be coached up. I think that discipline, we should see it game one, a difference.
Yeah. Hey, to Wade's point real quick though, like, yeah, Auburn is kind of running. Auburn's in a position where they were kind of running out of reasons to play here.
Yeah.
What other reasons are you having now? The kids picking the school other than they believe in what the coaches are selling in the system. Is it like Not like they was winning. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you're in a position where it's like, only reason I'm kind of here because I believe the things that this guy is telling me, and I believe
Yep.
that it'll work. So he has that advantage, I guess.
Yeah.
And
All I can tell people is you waited 5 years, another year ain't gonna hurt for a winning season.
patience. Mm-mm.
Patience is a virtue.
Oh, Marcus, what you got to say to people before we get up out of here, man?
Hey man, like Ant said, like I said, and Ant said, be patient and just relax, man. It can, we playing with house money, so if it's a successful season next year, let's party, let's celebrate. But if it's a process, let's enjoy the process. That's how I feel, man. And y'all be safe.
War Eagle G27, what's up, man? He said, what's up, guys? What's up, my guy, man? Big Sarge, he come in. He says, man, a coach's desire to win, though, through his demeanor doesn't mean winning football games. The players have to have the same mentality both on and off the field to be successful. Very, very true, man. King Tizzle in the chat, he said, winning more than 8 games. That's the culture I can book with. I like it. We can get there. That's what we got to get to first, man. Proof of concept to me. Does this execute the game plan competently? Shout out to Phil Will. King Richard in the chat said, man, I want to see if our coaches can show that they can adapt to what's going on in the game, to be able to get out of their comfort zone and adapt. Like it. I like it. Phil Will come back and say, man, patience is a premium in today's college football. Woo.
That's very fact. That's fact.
The word fan is short for fanatic. Therefore, we're incapable of being patient wholeheartedly. Well, Auburn fans, I don't know what it is because we still watch it. King Richards said, man, it's hard when we just watched a team with over 700 losses in NCAA history and won the national title and won 27 games in 2 years. Hey, man, it's starting to change.
All that buys you patience. All that buys you. Just let this dude do what he does. We ain't worried about it. We won forever. So.
Indiana winning the championship is going to have an effect on every school's patience. That's where I think the patience gets affected, just like you said, maybe. I actually want to talk about this. I want to talk about this, and I don't know how I'm going to talk about this, but I want to talk about it. He said, Warrior G27 said, what's bad is that Alabama is trying to get Charles Bedieko, I think that's how he says his last name, to come back to play college basketball after signing contracts in the NBA. Dangerous president being said. Dangerous president.
That's scary.
Dangerous presidents. Hawbone, what's up, Hawbone, man? He said, coach has to demand respect, but the scheme must be good too. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Alabama Poe is in the chat. What's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? He said, what up, fellas? Hope you're feeling all right tonight, my guy. Appreciate you so much for rocking with us, man. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us, man. The next word we are throwing away. Hashtag no more patience. That's what it is, man. We appreciate that so much, man. And if we start throwing words away, man, I don't know what we're gonna be able to say. Dang, it's gonna be a lot of stuff we ain't gonna be able to say, man. But it is what it is, man. Appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us, man. As always, man, make sure you go subscribe to these YouTube channels, man. At his SEC season, what I got Tez at Tight Sports and Alabama Football Maker Cast, DC Wolf over at Auburn _Addicts TV, Dustin over at Uptempo Podcast, a guy B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk, Vanny Chris over at the Go to Broom Podcast, and at the Anchor Down Live Podcast on Facebook, at the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube, and of course, I got Kid Country, Edward on YouTube as well, man, and of course the legend Bubba and the old man Auburn Sports Talk, man. Also go subscribe to JMHO Sports Talk with I got Coach Sean and On the Block Sports with Coach Carl. And of course, man, go over and subscribe to I got Dylan over at the College Loop as well, man. Shout out to those guys for rocking with us as well. Support the people that support Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. I got DJ, man. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood _media. That's Hollywood with an EY. And of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's.
Hollywood.
Day one support of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. We appreciate them so much, man, for rocking with us, man. Thank you so much. It's my quarterback. It is, man. And go follow us on our socials, man, at CoolerSpot23 on Twitter, at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok, at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast on Facebook, and of course, www.watercoolertalksports.com, man. Go check us out there as well for all of your college football, SEC football, and of course, Auburn football news, man. So we appreciate y'all so much for that there, man. We are trying to get this thing off the screen, and there it is. All right, man, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us. We'll be back Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be back around the water cooler, and we'll be talking some more college football, SEC football, Auburn football talk, man. That's what we'll be doing, man. Hopefully y'all have a good one. Better yet, man, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure y'all give the man upstairs above his, because he deserves all the praise and all the glory. And until Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, ladies and gentlemen, it is one love. Guess what? We out this mug. Y'all be easy, man. We'll holler at you. Peace.
This has been a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.